Hey everyone, my name's Tim, this is a Silver Coder, and in the video today we're going to look at conditional breakpoints and debugging and how we can make these work to our advantage, shall we say. So while in this case here we just have a very simple program whereby when a button gets clicked, then a hit counter will be set to 0. When we hit another button, the hit counter gets incremented, and every time we hit an even number, the counter will be, added to a memo control. Now, one way, that you could, have a breakpoint or a conditional breakpoint, and we are talking about a very poor way here, is that you could add a code into here that says something like, if the hit count was equal to 4, then sleep for a second. You put the breakpoint onto the sleep line, you run the program, and it will stop on the 4th iteration. Yeah, that works, but what if you needed to change the condition on which you wanted the breakpoint to execute, shall we say, or for the program to stop? Also, if you want to put the code into production, then you'd probably be smart to comment out or delete those lines of code before you did that. So it just has unnecessary complications to have to manually add code like that here. So what we can do is to have a breakpoint on which we can specify a condition on which that breakpoint will do something here. So what we've got here on this line of code, line 42 in this instance here, I can make the breakpoint, by the way, enabled or disabled. So if the breakpoint is disabled, then while you can, let's say, see it, it's not going to actually do anything in the context of when the program next runs. So we've got the breakpoint enabled, and in here what we will do is specify a condition on which the breakpoint will, do something, shall we say. And in here we want the program to actually break. We can also see a hit count, a pass count. You can have the program auto continue after a certain number of milliseconds, and it can also be part of a group. So that if you want to enable or disable a group of breakpoints, that's also possible. You can also, log. You can have a custom message which you might want to, add to the logger, or the event log, I should say, and you can have the call stack being output as well. So there's quite a few settings here that you can play with or change or set on each individual breakpoint. So all we're going to do here is, so every 4th number, this message will be output to the event log. And you can see down here that it is, we've got a pass count, it tells what we're going to basically do here. So we'll just reset that one. We're going to hit that once, twice, 3 times, and here is the 4th time, and our breakpoint has been hit. And now if we run it a bit further, there's no point in stepping into or stepping over, because there isn't really much to step into or over here. In order, though, for these messages to be output, however, you need to go check in your event log options that you have breakpoints are enabled, and I would also make sure that debugger messages are enabled as well. You can see here that you have different colors as well, and that is shown here. So let's say debug output warning message. You can see is in blue, red for a breakpoint, and if we were logging the stack, they would come out in orange. So the other thing to point out, that in order to get to this window here, you need to go into View, Debugger Windows, and then Event Logs. So if we get rid of this window here, we'll go back into it, Debug Log, and then Event Log, and you can see that, you know, whatever was happened when the program was running will be displayed into here. So now to put into context of a real world type scenario of where you might do this, so let's suppose I was given like let's say a few meg of data, where in each record contained, you know, something from a phone system, and, you know, let's just say if there was always a problem, say when the phone number had a certain prefix, shall we say. I could put the you know, something like my condition might be, you know, if the first 3 digits of the phone number were 617, then you know, I could have the breakpoint get hit, and from there I could then step through it. So by using conditional breakpoints, it means that you can have your program run as normal, and will then stop when the condition associated with that breakpoint evaluates to true. So it's a very good means of being able to let's just say optimize your, or make you more efficient with your debugging, rather than having to, let's just say in that my case here, where you're looking at, let's say, a large amount of data where you're looking for certain criteria, having to step through every record line by line by line by line until you get to the record that causes the problem. So that's about it for conditional breakpoints. Remember to add these to your toolbox, you know, for debugging. They are a great way to help you to identify problems in your code quickly. And as always, if you do find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can see when something else comes out. So until next time, bye and happy coding. Cheers.